back today. I'm gonna be doing a boost gauge, I think. Try to anyways. So I'm thinking I wanna put it up here, kinda in the middle of the dash. I'm gonna try to face it a little bit, something like that towards me. So this is gonna be interesting. I'm sure that all of this is probably gonna fail, but you know what? That's the fun of it, because I've always wanted to build just a totally eBay build turbo setup. So here we go. We're gonna try it, and who knows what happens if it freaking works? Then what? Then we did something. Well, let's get to it. It's game over for that. Ain't ever coming off. It still swivels just like it's supposed to do. That might cause us some grief later, but we will find out. As for right now, I do not care. These things are probably just, look at that. It was like it was meant to be. Like it was supposed to be like that. Jeep knew we were gonna be turboing this thing, so they knew that we were gonna need a little gap up here for all of our vacuum lines, or our boost lines and all our wires and whatnot. So they went ahead and left us a nice little crevasse for the everything to run through, These wires are definitely not long enough. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and lengthen those. I gotta get some stuff to do that real quick, so I will be right back. So, I know I was running them wires to the driver's side, but I for some reason thought the fuse box was on the driver's side. So, what I want to do is I want to have that gauge turn on when I turn the key on. I don't want it to be wired directly to the battery because it's going to be on all the time and it's going to kill the battery. Ask me how I know. I've done it before. Not necessarily with that, but anyways. So, I'm running the wires to the other side. I got to go into this fuse box here and find a spot that turns on, that gives me power with the key on. So that's what I'm gonna get ready to go ahead and do now. Try to find power on, key on. Hopefully my test light works. Let's try it. I'm probably gonna go right to this one, I'm thinking. That's for the cluster. What my plan here is basically a fuse tap, and you just wire it in. It kind of looks, it looks like this. It looks like this, but see, this one's too big. I need a mini fuse one. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and pick a couple of those up and get them shipped here. Get that done. For now, I'm just gonna wire it right to the fuse because I just wanna make it work. Yep, so that's where we're at. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting these wires ran on this. Guess we'll do that. So, I like these crimpers. I don't know, most people probably do too. These things don't break the crimp whenever you do this, because considering this is a Jeep, I do like to try to seal my electrical connections, because I don't want to have an electrical catastrophe out in the middle of a pond, because that sucks. And I don't want to have to dive into the water and turn into a little electric eel, because I'm trying to swim through the electric current in the water. I know that's unrealistic, but you get the idea. I don't want to be doing it anyways. I don't want to get wet, covered in water, diving in the water because I'm a dumbass. So anywho, just seal your damn connections. Just seal your electrical connections. That's where I'm going. Just seal. So go ahead and get this thing on here. This wire is super small. That was the issue I was having. My strippers they don't have a setting small enough for this wire. So I don't know. I don't even know if these butt connectors are gonna work, but I'm gonna try it, so we'll see. Well, it does kind of work. I don't fully trust it though. I'm definitely glad that I'm sealing these together because that's probably not a very good connection, but you know, whatever. It's just the power of the boost gauge. It's not like it's important or anything. I don't have any black wire, so we got blue. Spider-Man would be very proud. Blue and red wires. I'm sure he's probably super psyched. What's up, guys? So I gotta go to Summit today to get some parts for the TJ because they're not gonna be here. eBay sucks sometimes and doesn't really give you a very accurate like shipping date. So I gotta run out to Summit and get a couple things so I can finish that this week and get this video out on Sunday. So I'm gonna be taking the STI today because my XJ is terrible on gas going down the interstate. So looks like we're gonna be doing that. I'm gonna give you guys a nice cold start and then we'll go from there. So I just made it to Summit. I don't think I'm gonna take my camera inside with me just because I don't have like a small camera that I can carry around like nonchalant. This thing's freaking huge. So probably not gonna take the camera in, but I'll show you what I get whenever I get back. I'm not getting anything crazy, just a couple things so I can get this oil feed line, oil drain line on the TJ, get the turbo on there. I'm gonna see, hopefully they have a 2-bolt flange for the wastegate here while I'm here also because I need one. I mean, I ordered 2 of them, but neither one of them are gonna be here in time, so we gotta make this work. All right, I'll be right back. So I just got back from Summit. Well, I didn't just get back from Summit. I made some food and stuff first, but you know. Anyways, I just got back from Summit and I'm gonna go ahead and get started on, I think first, putting the oil feed line to the turbo. I bought some stuff for that. I bought a little brass tee. It is 1/8 by NP or 1/8 NPT tee, and basically I'm going to put my oil pressure sensor into the side of it, run the oil feed line off the top of it, run the feed line to the turbo, obviously. And then for the drain, I went and bought an AN10 2-bolt drain thing, you know. Basically, I'm gonna run just the drain right off the turbo, straight down. It's just gravity feed, you know, nothing fancy. But for the pan, I decided to try something new. I've never done this before. Usually I just weld a bung on there or whatever, you know. So I bought this AN10 bulkhead fitting. And I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm really hopeful. I'm hoping it is. I'm hopeful for it. It has these nylon walking washers, or sealing washers, I guess. I don't know what you want to call them, but they're definitely nylon, I think. Something of that sort. And pretty much what you do, for those of you who don't know, is I'm gonna drill a hole, same size as them threads. This is your oil pan wall. Drill your hole through, put your bulkhead fitting through, okay? And then this will be on, obviously, the inside of the oil pan. And then I'm gonna take my locking washer again, or I'm sorry, sealing washer again, put it in there, you know, and then you get your nut on your inside of your oil pan, tighten that bad boy up, and hopefully that thing doesn't leak. If it does leak, I'm gonna have to pull it back off and go over it with RTV because I really don't want to weld my oil pan. I just don't. I'm lazy. All right, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okie doke, so this is the fitting that I'm going to be replacing. It's where your factory oil pressure sensor is going to be. Pretty sure the 4.0 is the same spot, if not a similar spot, but this little guy right there. I'm going to be pulling it out and replacing it with a brass tee. I'll show you that, where it's at in just 1 second. Go ahead and zoom out here and turn this way down. Okay, so that fitting is down right down in here. Okay,
So now that we got that discussed and settled, I'm gonna go ahead and put you back up on my tripod, and we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'll show you an after picture. Well, I have ran into an issue. As you can see, I do have the T in, but I have the motor mount right there. And for some reason, I had never put two and two together that was going to be an issue until, you know, of course it was an issue. That's usually how I learn, is the hard way, so, you know, it is what it is. Anyways, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the oil pressure sensor, put back in the original T fitting, and just run the oil line right to the turbo. Who needs an oil pressure gauge? You know, I can just buy an aftermarket one and figure that out at some point. But for now, that's what I'm gonna have to do. Yeah, so, oh well, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so I got the fitting down in the other fitting. Now I gotta get up to here and get a fitting into the top of there. I know it's really, highlights are blowing out right now, but I will fix that in a minute. Anyways, gotta get to that. I'm gonna get my tripod, my camera set up on the tripod, and then we'll get to that. All right. I have no idea what thread pitch this is. eBay, like I said, this thing's been built off eBay, so, you know, take that with a grain of salt. Anyways, eBay, the listing did not tell me any of these sizes on these ports. This is a coolant cold turbo as well. I'm not using the coolant cooling because I don't care. So I bought this. This is an AN4 orb to an AN4 straight, except this has an O-ring on this side. It threads down into it and it does tighten up. So I'm hoping that it doesn't leak. The only thing I can do is, you know, try it and find out. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try it and find out. So, for those of you wondering why I'm using a wrench, I can't get a socket to fit. I mean, I know it's behind this bar, but this bolt right here, there's another one here that holds the, you know, the exhaust housing to the, you know, whatever, journal, the bearing housing cartridge thing, I don't know. Anyways, it's in the way, so I can't get a socket on there. So I have to use a wrench. I'm gonna try to put the oil line on. We're gonna see how that goes because that bolt might end up being in the way. I don't know for sure yet. I'm really freaking hoping it's not, because if it is, I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. Because I don't want to run back out the summit and everything else is in the mail still, so that's where we're at on that part. Alrighty, 1 sec, be right back. I bought a 36-inch oil line. I'm kind of thinking it's gonna be way too freaking long. We're gonna find out right now, but I'm really thinking it's way too long. Let's see if I can even get tight enough. How am I gonna get to the bottom? I'm gonna loop it. Holy cow, that's way too freaking long. Holy cow. Alright, whatever, we're gonna use it. I'm just gonna loop it around something, somehow, and see if I can go underneath of that. Like that, yes. And then back around, down to there. This is really hard with the tripod in the way. Yeah, it's a pain. Come on. We're almost there, I can feel it. Well, I have ran into, once again, yet another issue. You know, I mean, these are things to be expected whenever you're doing things you shouldn't be doing. So, this port right here, you know, oh man, I'm so irritated right now. This port is like way too small. I don't know who designed this thing. Maybe I just don't know enough, I don't know. This is off of my real GT3582R, which I have right behind the camera sitting over here. It's on my Subaru engine that I built. I pretty much just stole it so I could try to make this work. And as you can see, it's like, oh, I don't know, 6 feet too long almost, just about. So that's not gonna do it. So, what I think I'm gonna do instead, you know, like I said, it's all about sloppiness over here on this junk TJ. So, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm going to first zoom that out, bring you over here and grab this, all right? This little guy. Okie dokie. So, this is an AN6 fitting orb to straight. It almost fits, almost. It fit before, but I smashed the threads off of it trying to thread it in. I never said I was intelligent, alright? I do things and then find out that it doesn't work. That's how it goes. But what I'm going to do now, this probably might not work either, but I don't have another solution to this. So I got some JB Weld, an AN6 fitting, and a lot of hope, pretty much. We're riding on hopes and dreams here, hoping this works. I don't care if it leaks a little bit. Like, a little bit's okay, you know. I mean, it's a Jeep, pretty much. If it's not leaking oil, it's not running right anyways. So let's go ahead and get to doing that. Good girl, yes you are. What do you think? You think it's gonna blow up? So while I'm letting all that JB Weld dry on the turbo, I'm gonna go ahead and drain the oil, get the oil pan off of here, try to blast that hole in the side of that thing, and go from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, so I got the oil drained. I'm going to get the oil pan off now. So go ahead and do that. Got my handy dandy DeWalt. Alright. So it looks to me as if I'm going to have to remove the starter to take the oil pan off. This is dumb. So I guess I'm gonna pull the starter off now. I gotta go get more tools. Alright, so I've ran into, once again, another issue. I don't have inverted Torx. I was trying to makeshift a 10mm socket to work and it was not working. So I have to run into the store tomorrow to buy some inverted Torx. Gotta do that. I will also need to finish what I'm doing on this tomorrow because I need to go get some food and I'm a little irritated that I've ran into so many issues today. I mean, things happen, you know, I get it, but anyways, it is what it is. So, I'll be back. What's up, guys? So, I got everything done tonight. Back and got it done, except for the wastegate and all the vacuum lines and, you know. Anyways, don't worry about that. So, I changed out the oil feed line
got a different one on. I got the one that came in the mail finally, so it's shorter, it's the right one. This one looks nicer. It's not all long and, you know, jumbled up in there. It's better now. And then I also got the oil return on. Goes down to the pan. Good to go. I just got some fresh oil in it, and I'm gonna get it set up to fire it up here in a minute. And we're gonna let it run for a little bit, see if we got any oil leaks, because I want to check out this bulkhead fitting I got on the oil pan. Not sure how that's gonna go yet. Like I said, I haven't used one, so it's all new to me, but we're gonna find it out. I can tell you that. We're gonna check it out.
So I do just kind of want to give you guys an idea of what's going on under here. So this is going to be the feed line, ran down from the turbo and right to this bulkhead fitting that we got in the oil pan. I have a feeling it's probably going to leak. I don't care. I'm going to let it leak. If it leaks, it leaks. You know what? At least I know it has oil in it. So we will find that out later.
So this is gonna be the first legit start. Everything's hooked up, except for the wastegate still. I don't know when the stuff's gonna be here for that. Anyways, let's get to it. No more procrastination. Forgot a terminal. It's like we know what we're doing. Close the clutch. Fire in the hole.
Alright, let's try that again.
Don't buy a $100 turbo, what can I say, you know? I mean, plus, you know, I probably should have put oil to it. That's on me, but whatever. Alright, take two.
Alright, how bad is it leaking oil? It's not.